Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons with Troy. Well, today I want to talk a little bit about some tones I'm working on. And for any Kemper users out there who don't know already how to do this, how to take an effects pedal and in stereo run it through the effects loop of the Kemper. So let me show you how to do that real quick, and then I'll get into some tones. Okay, first off, you got to run into the input of the pedal from the direct output send. You'll see that right there. It's kind of a weird angle. That goes into the input of your pedal. And then in the back of this pedal, you have left out and right out. And I take the left output and I go into the return input there. And then I take the right output and I go into this alternative input there. And then that runs this reverb and tremolo pedal, but it could be, any sort of stereo effects pedal that you might want to add to your Kemper, and run it via the effects loop in the back. So let me go ahead and show you then how through the front of the Kemper, how you can choose that as your effect. Okay, so once you have your cables plugged in properly in the back and into your pedal, what you want to do is push in the X button right there on your effects. And what you're going to want to do is go ahead and turn your browse knob and then turn this knob all the way, I believe it's all the way to the bottom, and it'll say effect loop, and then go over here and do loop stereo. And then I just chose loop stereo default. And then if you hit exit, now what I'm doing, I'm not sure if this is right or not. I'm running this loop mix at 100% on my Kemper. And then because the Strymon has a mix knob there, I can control it externally. So I don't have to keep hitting buttons on the Kemper and all that, when I want to adjust the level of the reverb. I can just do it on the reverb pedal, and it's at 100% into the Kemper. So I'm sure I might get some comments on that may not be the best way to do it. But anyways, so that's how I'm getting this Strymon Flint into the Kemper. So let's go ahead and check out some tones now. Okay, so the Kemper profile that I'm going to be using for all of this is going to be a 1967 Fender Pro Reverb that I got from Tone Junkies. And it's just going to be increasing levels of gain from totally clean, and I'll show you that. Sounds like this, and I'll use my neck pickup. So you can tell it's totally dry right now before I use the Strymon Flint. Right, a little bit of breakup maybe on the end. And as I keep going to the next profile, still dry, a little bit more breakup, and then as I keep going, there's a little bit more gain and breakup. So there's no overdrive pedals or distortion pedals or anything. This is just a profile of that amp with a little bit more volume where it's breaking up the tubes more. All right, and as I keep going to the fifth one, the last one, right, it's cranked amp. But why I like the Kemper is that, you get all that overdrive of a cranked amp without killing your ears. And I do love, tube amps, but this is just way simpler to record for me. And in my, little place that I record, in a spare bedroom, it works real well. Okay, well, let's go back to an amp profile with not that much gain. I think my gain's at like, let's see, about 2 or so. So you can hear it's clean there. And then as I dig in, it gets a little bit more broken up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let me turn on the Strymon Flint. Now what I'm using here is I'm using a 1970s sound reverb. And I've got the decay up pretty high and the mix up pretty high. Keep in mind, this, if I turned it all the way down, that's totally dry. If I turned it right to there, now we start getting some of that reverb. Right, you can hear the decay, how long that reverb lasts, right? And the color, I've got it kind of a bright reverb there, but if we wanted a darker reverb, we could turn the color down. So let's brighten up the reverb, because this amp is a little bit of a dark sounding amp, especially with the humbuckers. We'll try to brighten up the reverb, maybe turn the decay down a little bit. Let's go on to the next profile with a little bit more gain. So a little bit more decay, a little bit more volume. So with my volume pedal, I can get more of an effect, a reverb with an effect to it. Now, this does have this other side as a tremolo. Let me show you that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my bridge pickup on. I'm going to play more of the bass strings, right? So let's turn up the intensity of that. Now I'm going to put this on a spring reverb, the 60s, or that's more of a spring sounding reverb. Yeah, I like this amp sound because it's clean there, relatively clean. It's right on the edge of breakup, they call it. So the more I dig in, the more it's going to break up. Now, if I want more of a modern sounding reverb, I'd turn it to 80s. Let's turn the decay way up. Let me turn the tremolo off. Turn the decay all the way up, show you what that sounds like. A little bit much. Works nice with the volume pedal. And turn the color down, give me like a darker sound. So it doesn't work real well like that, but you can, you know, the swells work nice with that heavy, long decay. Let me turn it back to the 60s. That seems to work a little bit. Turn the brightness up. A little bit less decay. Just kind of looking for that Rycooter kind of sound, you know, turn the tremolo back on. But I like that kind of edge of breakup tone more than the one that's just constantly broke up. Like if I go all the way to my most gained, heavy gain amp, you know, the whole, I have to hit it real light for it to not break up. And then when it breaks up, you get that fuzz sound. Sometimes I like to swell into that to kind of take the bite off the note. Makes it more of like a violin kind of tone. But let me turn it back to this one. I believe my gain is about 2.8, it says. So you can hear it when I switch pickups, how it breaks up more. turn the intensity up on that tremolo too. Now there are some other settings for the tremolo. I've been having on 63 tube. There's the 61 harmonic, I guess. Almost sounds like a wah-wah sound, affects the tone. And then here's the 63 tube. And then the last one, 65 photo. Interesting. Yeah, so I tend to like, for that Rycooter stuff, that 63 tube with the 60s kind of spring reverb. That might be a little bit much on the decay. A little bit much on the intensity of the tremolo too. So I turn it down to another less gainy. That one's nice. You know, it's not breaking up unless I really dig into it. And if I turn on a little bit of delay, I was messing with this too, a little slapback delay. You can hear it without the reverb here. Just without that delay. That's cool. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that and got a little bit out of how I mess around with different tones and things. And by the way, I'm running into, right out of the lap steel, into a steel guitar black box by Brad Sarno, and then into a volume pedal. And as far as volume pedals go, I really like a low profile volume pedal, meaning, you know, it's closer to the ground. Goodrick and Hilton, you know, they make a low profile volume pedals. And that way it doesn't raise your leg up, you know. Okay, guys, well, we'll see you on the next lesson, and hopefully you got something out of that. Probably more centered for Kemper users than anything else, but I get a lot of questions about my tone and things, so I'm always working on it and always trying new stuff. And this is what I've been working on this week, is to take an external effects pedal and run it in stereo into the Kemper with the effects loop. Okay, we'll see you on the next lesson. Thanks, everybody. Bye.